Good morning, everybody. It's Matt here at Pumpkin Ridge. It is Saturday, June 21st. It is Father's Day. So happy Father's Day, everyone. To my dad, who was here last weekend, happy Father's Day. My dad, sorry, I'm cleaning feed off the top of the sunshade. Yeah, my dad was up here last weekend. We had a really nice visit, and he's just an awesome guy, super supportive, and he's awesome. And next weekend, Darren's stepdad's coming up, and he's also awesome and has been super helpful with just stuff around. He knows a lot about machinery and vehicles and all kinds of stuff that we're not good at. So yeah, so to all the dads out there, happy Father's Day. You guys are great. So I'm out here in the bird yard. Woo, it's very quiet because nobody's out here yet. So what we're gonna do is I just filled up the waters and we're gonna let this crazy gang out this morning. So let's get right to it. Come on out. Whee! What a menagerie. So, update on the guinea fowl. They are doing fantastic. They have integrated right in with everybody, no fighting. They've been staying inside the electric netting, no escapes yet. And that's really going well. And they're just so comical. You guys thirsty? So I gotta give them their breakfast. But before I feed these guys, I have another surprise. Oh, we have escapees already here. The fence is off. These two guys are out during the day. And I put them in these crates at night. But here's my surprise. Dun, dun, dun. Let's see what's going on here. Dun, dun, dun. You guys coming out? Here we go. Come on. Yay. Oh, you are a sneak. So I close this over after I let them out because the chickens will all file out of here and jump this fence and I'll have all the chickens out. Now this one flies right over the fence every morning. This one sneaks out whenever she can. There's another one over there. So there's like 7 that every day just get out of the electric. I can't keep them in. I see them fly right over it. It's not been a problem. If the fox does show up, that will be a problem, but what can I do right now? But so we've moved all the goslings out here, and let me just tell you, it is so lovely because I do not have to chase them around and pick them up anymore. I just scoot them right in that door at night and lock them in. The only thing I don't love about them being out in this pen is there's no grass left in this area. So I have to pick the grass and bring it to them. So they're gonna be in here for like a week or so, and then I'm gonna move them in with everybody else. But I just wanna make sure that they are, everything's good and nobody's fighting. Also, they get tangled in this electric netting right away. So they got out yesterday and they ran right into the fence and got all tangled up. They're not super smart, guys. Huh. So I gotta get them to a point where they're a little bit bigger and they'll be less likely to try to get through the netting and get stuck. So that's my goal. So yeah, so we got the birds all out for the morning. I just gotta feed them now. And then today's video is just gonna be pretty simple. I showed you these guys. We're gonna check in on the pigs, see how they're doing, check out their whole pasture they have and what kind of rooting they've done and what they've done in there. And then we're gonna check on my garden and see how that's going. I've been working all week pretty hard in the garden, planting, and they're so loud. Planting seeds and whatnot and planting plants. So we're gonna check on that and check on the animals and have a nice day. So come along. The sun is supposed to come out today. It should be nice. So yeah, follow along and see what we're up to today on Pumpkin Ridge. All right, I got their food. They're all gathered around. There. I've been finding if I just throw it on the ground, it spreads out more, and they can spread out, and they all get a fair shot. And they're not squabbling over a bowl. So I'm feeding them an all flock mix. So it's a pellet that's designed for all types of birds. And then I add oyster shell for the laying birds, so they have enough calcium for their eggs. So the ducks and the chickens will eat that oyster shell as they need it. And then I have, for the goslings, I have specific waterfowl pellets for them because they're still growing. And we want to make sure they're getting all the nutrients they need to, here we go, to grow properly. So this is for the geese. Goslings and ducklings can have issues if they don't get all the correct nutrients they need. They can have trouble with their bones. There we go. Now I give them a little grain in the morning and in the evening, and then the rest of the day, they just eat grass and dandelion greens and weeds. So if they don't get the right diet, if they get too much protein and they don't get enough of the right nutrients they need, they can get problems with their legs, they can get problems with their wings. They can grow angel wing, which is when the tip of their wing as it's growing basically grows too fast, I believe, and then the wings are deformed. I don't have any angel wing in this flock except for this one black runner duck here. If you can see him under the shade. It's not really angel wing, but the two end flight feathers of his wings are just slightly malformed. They just stick out a little bit funny. Now, angel wing, if you ever go to a park and see the geese or the ducks or whatever, if you see one with a wing sticking out to the side, that's angel wing, and it really affects them. Especially if it's like a Canada goose or something, it affects their ability to fly, and it's not good. And it's a nutritional thing as they're growing that can happen. So if you're not feeding them the right food, you can get issues. Oh, we're having an issue right now with a little rooster. So all my little roosters are maturing rapidly here. Oh, she just went right under that fence because it's not on. This guy is getting a little randy, and these little young roosters are starting to mount the hens, which is going to be a problem. So I need to get on rooster duty here, manage this. But yep, so everyone's having their breakfast and we're all good. You can see that sun is burning through behind me. It should be a gorgeous day. But I just gathered the eggs. In the morning, I get all the duck eggs because they lay first thing. So I've got in my shirt all the duck eggs. I think I got 14. But a couple of these eggs are dirty. So what we're going to do is go back here in amongst all this goldenrod, and we're going to put these dirty eggs out for the crows. This one's kind of dirty. And there. We'll give them 3. So that's for the crows, and when I walk away, they should come and get their breakfast. And if you've been following along, I usually every morning put out a couple of eggs, any ones that got poop on them, for the crows and the ravens, and they keep the hawks and the eagles on their toes, so I don't have birds of prey hanging around trying to pick off my birds. I've only lost one bird to an eagle this year. One duck got eaten by an eagle, but other than that, no birds of prey really bother with them because the crows and the ravens are hanging out all the time. All right, I gotta bring these eggs in the house. I'm gonna get some hard-boiled eggs, and then we're gonna check on the pigs. Oh, but before we check on the pigs and do that, I have to pay the toll. If you guys know, here's the toll. You want one? Sit. Silas usually fills out here too, but he went in the house. Do you want your egg? Whoop! So he gets his breakfast egg. Tractor's out. Darren's been doing some mowing yesterday. My brother did some, and my sister-in-law did some mowing last weekend. I think I filmed some of that. Maybe I'll find that footage. But yeah, so we've been working on the fields and all that. So, but let's get going. Let's get going. I gotta check on those cute pigs. I'm using the goslings to clean the fence line. You can see where they were for 2 days right there. And I just moved them over here. So by the end of the day, this whole strip by the fence should be cleared out. Chomp, chomp, chomp. So it's been all day. I just gave them the first scoop of grain I've given them all day. And I've just been giving them lots of grass and weeds and dandelions and stuff like that. But as you can see, they have cleared the fence line. They ate pretty much everything they could eat in this little area. Oh, babies. And they're having a little grain for dinner. But they can pretty much survive on just grass and weeds and vegetation. And they do a very good job of mowing. So this is where they were yesterday, and they cleared that all out. And then today they've cleared that all out. And then we'll move them down tomorrow to the next one possibly. Yay! Ooh, it's warming up quickly, so I took my other shirt off. It's nice out. So I'm out here by the pigs, and every morning I bring them some hard-boiled eggs for breakfast. Hey girls, how we doing? You gonna have an egg? Ooh, watch out for my fingers there, ma'am. One for you, one for you. And then we like to do a little Easter egg hunt. Whee! Go find the eggs. They've got quite a sense of smell. And they are loving this new pasture. It is just snack, snack, snack. It's just so pleasant to see them out here enjoying life naturally, laying in the shade. They love this little willow tree. In the afternoon, this is the shady spot, so you can see they've rooted all this up. And they just lay in the dirt. We're gonna give them some fresh water. Here you go, ladies. So we've got Layla drinking the water, and we've got Faye, and Layla and Faye are Menagerie pigs, which is a Chinese breed of pig that, let me get in here, piggies. That are known for their, basically their very docile temperament, and they have very large litters, and they're just very quiet. They're very, very sweet, and quite lovely. They're very enjoyable. They almost never make any sound. They're just very quiet, which is, excuse me, ma'am. She's pulling the strings on my pants. So I thought we'd look around in here and see what they've done to this pasture. So you can see they've rooted up all underneath this willow tree. They're gonna follow me around. Faye likes to nibble on my boots, which I don't love. Faye, ma'am, please stop. So we've got all the rooting here. Faye, what are you doing, honey? Are you gonna give me some space, or am I gonna have to get out of here? Now, they are sweet and docile animals, but they are large and they are livestock, and you have to be careful. She, she wanted to, she could knock me right over. She's never been aggressive, she's never charged, she's never done really anything. But you don't wanna, make light of a large animal that could, could physically hurt you. And it's mostly Faye. Layla is very, very sweet. And Faye is very sweet, but she's very pushy. So when she wants something, she will come up and snuffle you and nuzzle you and kind of push you around. So yeah, so I haven't been up to this part in a week. So their manure is up here. Pigs generally like to pick a spot as their manure pile. So they've kind of picked this corner for now. And they've been pooping over here. And they've been rooting, and here's their hut. I haven't looked in their hut in a while. Oh, it looks good though, nice and dry and clean. And they've rooted, oh, here's more manure over here. They've really rooted up this end of the pen. But this is what I wanted. I wanted them to work the land, root it up, eat what they want from here, and they love to eat the roots and the bugs and the grasses and everything else. And they also like to go in the shade under this dogwood clump here. Oh, lots of poops over here. So they're gonna be in this pen for at least a year, I would guess. We'll see how it goes and how they work this land. And then I'm assuming next year we might move them again, and then this field will be all worked in. And I think what I'll probably do is make it like a big pumpkin patch. For Pumpkin Ridge, I do want a big place for pumpkins to grow. So we'll see. Pigs of the Serengeti, hey girls. So once you come in with them for a few minutes, she settles down. She's just super intrigued when you first come in. Huh, ma'am? How you doing? Huh? You got any bugs on you? I found 2 ticks on Layla's tail yesterday. But I don't see anything on Faye. Faye, you're on my toe, ma'am. That's not great. Let's check you. No, I'm not seeing any bugs. No bugs. So, yep, that's the update on Layla and Faye, the Meishan pigs. And they're doing really well. So now we're gonna go and get on with their day and check on some of my gardening projects. I gotta make sure I close this gate over. We do not want pigs on the loose. There we go. All right, girls, we'll be back to check on you later. Let's go see what the garden's doing. Also, look how pretty this is. All these irises, and these are just wild. They were here when we moved in. And this is like a nice sort of damp spot that they really love. And there's bumblebees all over them, and I've seen the hummingbirds on them. So the goal in front of this fence is gonna be to just add more flowering plants and things. So I planted some cardinal plants, cardinal salvia in the back. They like it moist too. So that should be big spikes of red flowers for the hummingbirds. On this side, I've got some Joe Pye weed and some other plants that sort of like it a little moist here too, because there's a culvert that goes right here. So this area is a pretty moist area. So yeah, I'm gonna be adding some more plants in here. It's gonna kind of be still maybe a little wild, but I just want lots of native flowering plants for wildlife mostly, and for my eyes. So, and we've also been keeping up with the lawn mowing. So this whole field, if anyone watched our videos last summer, was just a big overgrown, I mean, it was beautiful. It was like all asters and wildflowers. But we've been keeping it mowed. It's really been helping with the tick issue. And it kind of is like a little park now. And we planted some more fruit trees. So that is looking great. The lawnmower has been really great. And we have the little culvert here with the bridge with all the little buttercups, which love also kind of disturbed moist soil. So they're growing in this culvert. And last week, this was so yellow. It looked like a stream of yellow, but the flowers have passed a bit. Now, people don't like buttercup in their fields because it is slightly toxic to animals if they eat it. Mostly, I think it just kind of tastes bad and they don't like it. So obviously it likes the moister areas, so it's in the culvert. It's not really a problem in most of the main pastures. We do have an issue with choke cherry in the pastures that we've been mowing. So choke cherries are toxic to livestock, especially if they are dead and wilted. So we're trying to get that under control by just this summer mowing them down as much as possible so they don't come back. That's the plan. But here's my garden. So if you watched last week, I've done a lot since I showed you my tomato planting last week. And we also have a huge amount of feral plants coming up here. So we have all of these, and I assume these are butternut squash, and they're coming up everywhere. And sunflowers are coming up everywhere because over the year, I fed the pigs butternut squash and sunflower seeds. So we have a lot of that coming up. And I'll let them grow where I can, but I will pull some out. Because I also have planted in here some pumpkins. So I have some Dutch fork pie pumpkins there, and over there. I have a birdhouse gourd in the corner. Some random sunflowers along the fence. I've got sugar snap peas all along this fence, so they'll climb up here. These are my sunchokes that are really starting to really grow. And then I have a row of cilantro that I just seeded that hasn't come up yet. We've got some other things, some borage. Oh, it's a lot coming up. Yesterday there was only 2, and now there's like 5. So this is all some borage I planted here. So we'll have a nice big patch of borage, which is an edible flower. And it's really lovely for pollinators. The bumblebees absolutely love it. And it's pretty. And you can eat it. So that's all good. And I put some more over there. So there's a couple coming up over here too. 1, 2, 3 over here, 4. And another little butternut squash. My trees that I had in the basement that are back out. So I've got persimmons and hazelnut. And there's one, no, this is just persimmon and hazel right now. So I've got to get those in the ground eventually. But let's check on the rest of this. So I've got here and all these little planters. I've got some bell peppers. These are purple bell peppers. I've got some anise hyssop, which I really like this. The flowers are purple and the insects absolutely love them. They're really pretty. It's a perennial and it will reseed. And the leaves are kind of sweet and they taste like licorice. So I do sometimes use this in cooking, stir fries and things. These are doing a little sad. This soil isn't great, but we've got some kale coming up. I don't know how that's going to do. And I've got some basil coming up in here. But I'm leery because some of these things in these bags did not do great. Like this kale here, the flea beetles got it. I might just pull it out and put something else in there. Put a pepper or something in there. Radishes are doing okay. Snap peas are doing okay. I've got a couple little eggplants here. My brother brought me some strawberries, so I potted them up and they're recovering from their journey. We've got cucumbers and these 2 grow bags and zucchini and those 2 in the back. This is a Nanking cherry bush, which is just in here to protect it from animals, but it will be somewhere else. We've got some Thai basil that I started indoors and are growing. That's doing really well. We've got some cayenne peppers, which a couple of them got really messed up in the back of my truck driving from the store. So I don't know. These 2 look a little raggedy. They might come back. I got some mint. This is strawberry mint, which I've never grown. And pineapple mint. So I'm going to try to keep these in containers because if you've ever grown mint, you know it is, it is very invasive. All my tomatoes. Now I love these. They've grown a lot since last week. If you watched last week's video, they really are doing well in this pot. My fear is that these sections are a little small and I'm afraid that it's going to be a little tight quarters for them, but we'll see. I think I would have preferred to put them in these grow bags because each one of these has a huge section, but I don't have enough soil to fill these up yet, so that's my struggle. This is a lot of soil to put in these grow bags, and then I have these ones here too that I haven't filled yet. We'll get to that, but we have these here. They're doing okay for now. We've got in this one, we've got 4 eggplants and then 4 of the purple bell peppers. We've got some more little cayenne peppers in pots, and we've got all my little seedling tomatoes that I'm gonna put in those other grow bags eventually. We've got another little baby Nanking cherry that I got at Tractor Supply that was alive, and then it died when I potted it up, and then it came back. So it's got some little shoots. And I've got a little bronze fennel that came up from seed that I'm trying to save. And this is the only survivor of my thornless blackberries that I grew last year from cuttings, and they just, when I repotted them, most of them died. And I thought this one was dead, but it slowly came up from the ground. So we're going to try to nurture that and have the thornless blackberries. And then my potatoes are coming up. So I put in some Yukon Gold and some red, I think Red Bliss or something, potatoes in this mound. And as they're coming up through the straw, I've been adding more straw. So today I might throw a little sprinkle on top of that. There's more coming up right there. Obviously more butternut squash coming up everywhere. But here's the red potatoes, and they are all busting through. So as they grow through this compost, I'm going to add more and more to make a nice big mound so it'll be full. Hopefully the plan is that it will be full of potatoes when it comes time to harvest. Now along this fence, I've got some sunflowers that I had from seed that I popped in there, and I threw some more seeds in. I've got I had this mountain mint plant, which is a perennial that was struggling a little bit in a pot, so I popped it in the ground. We'll see how it does. And some of these really sad sunflowers that I started in seed trays and then neglected. So they're coming up though, so they're growing. So we might have some nice sunflowers along the fence, and I have more coming up all the way down this fence section. I have a million, I think these are zinnias coming up here. Marigold, so this is gonna be a big swath of just flowers everywhere on this end. Let's see, more zinnias coming up. Lots of zinnias. And then my cosmos, which I just sprinkled hundreds of seeds, and they are all, look at them, they're coming up everywhere. So this will be a wall of flowers by the end of the summer. It'll be so pretty. I've got some Tithonia here, or Mexican sunflower, which gets really tall and has these really beautiful orangey red sunflowery flowers, and a couple little borage seedlings that I just transplanted here that I had in a pot. I mean, tons more of this cosmos everywhere. I've got some small sugar pumpkins on this end of the fence. I've got 3, oops, something ate one, so I've got 2 sugar pumpkins here. I've got green beans I planted in here. Oh, something was digging, so we got some seeds coming out of the ground here. I didn't even water these in last night. I was busy and I just planted them and didn't fully finish that job, I guess. But I've got, green beans here, bush beans. And then I've got some, I'm doing a little experiment here. I've got some gray zucchini here. I got 2 plants here. And I've got a plant in each one of these grow bags. So I'm curious to see if they'll do better in the grow bag or better in the ground. So that's my little garden tour of the vegetable garden. And I'm fully predicting this garden is going to be a complete crazy jungle this summer. It's our first year with it. I'm working on building soil. So I've got all the straw from the pigs that's decomposing, and I'm using that for the potatoes. I've got this mound of manure that I put the pumpkins in. And they're gonna just go bananas. And hopefully I can trail them over the fence and across the lawn so they don't fully encompass everything over here, but we'll see. And then I'm using the wood shavings from the coops and cages and things for my paths. And I've done this in my previous garden, and these wood shavings will just decompose down into the soil. And after a couple of years, I will have a beautiful layer of rich soil everywhere in the garden. But in the meantime, they suppress the weeds and they make it nice and soft to walk on. They hold the dust in the mud down. So my plan is to, as I clean the chicken coop and things, bring bins of the shavings up here and just put them all around these pots just to keep all the weeds down and make it just aesthetically pleasing with delineated walkways and things all here. Because right now it's a bit of the Wild West, especially with all these squash coming up everywhere. Now, some of these squash are going to have to be sacrificed because there's too many, they're too close together, and they will take over this whole space. I won't even be able to get in here. But I'm blabbing and blabbing, aren't I? So yeah, so that is the vegetable garden so far this year. Ooh, climb it. I don't have a gate, guys. I got to climb over the fence with a cinder block. I get my exercise. Now this is my flower pot garden, my pot garden. And this year, so last year I bought most of the plants that I put in this garden. I'm on a tight budget this year, and I tried to do a lot of things from seed. Some things are struggling, I'll be honest, some things are struggling. So I've got, I bought these celosia and some of these calendulas, and some of these marigolds, but all this these are salpoglossus that I grew from seed. These ones are doing pretty good. These nasturtiums, and this is a Mino lobata vine, or called a flag vine, and this trellis is a little small, but it has been struggling. But just recently, I've been mixing up pig manure in a bucket with water and letting it sit, and then watering these seedlings with the manure water, and it has perked them up in just a few days. So these were looking a little sad. These ones still are very small. This one got broken off and then came back from the stem. We've got some marigolds. These are the really dainty little ones with the tiny little flowers that are really good for pollinators. We've got some other marigolds. Now these have been in this pot for weeks and weeks, and they just stalled out. But I am noticing after watering them with the manure water, they're looking a little livelier. Sunflowers, more calendulas. We got 4 o'clocks. We've got, these are super sad. So these cosmos, if you see these compared to the ones that are in the garden I just showed you, these have been in the ground longer than those ones, and they're doing terrible. I might just dig them up and replace them, but I'm trying with the manure water to see if they come back to life. But they're just so pitiful and sad. And this isn't even all new soil. This is soil that was in here last year too, so it should be broken down enough. I don't know what's going on. I had zinnias in here. Something has been eating them. So this is another pot I might have to redo. We got some cannas. We've got some more calendulas. We've got some bachelor buttons that came up from seed on their own that I found around and I popped in here. They're looking a little spindly. Hopefully they'll fill in. These are some sad, cool salvias that I bought that were looking a little yellow. So I cut them back and I've been fertilizing them, and they're starting to green up and look better. So I'm hopeful these will be nice and luscious in a couple of weeks. Zinnias that are also looking really sad. Don't know why, but the nights have been chilly. So the days get really nice and sunny and warm. Some nights were pretty cold, and we had the heat on, down into the high 40s, 50s. So some of these plants, like zinnias that really like the heat, didn't love those cold nights, and I think it stalled them out a bit. But yeah, same with these sunflowers. These have been in here forever. They should be, big and tall and gorgeous. They're looking terrible, guys. These nasturtiums look good, though. And, a tractor just drove by. Welcome to the country. And what else? Just lots of things. Some of these are things I purchased, like obviously these flowers I bought. But these are all like zinnias and things coming up from seed, more salpoglossus. I got some elephant ears that I got like for $2 because it's the season where they're trying to unload everything. I had 2 pots of these. Silas dug up one of the pots and chewed up the bulbs, which, you know, he's just a delight sometimes. And here's my little nursery for vegetables. So I have some green beans coming up here. They did not do as well as I had hoped, but oh, there's another one coming up. These are some butternut squash, which do I need more? I don't. More borage. And some of these are little rescued cosmos that were just coming up in pots that I saved because I can't kill anything. These are some other type of sunchoke that my brother gave me. He brought them up, so I potted them up. These are going to go out somewhere away from the garden because they're kind of invasive. And these are all failed zucchini seeds from last year that just did not sprout. Don't know. They must have just been old and they didn't do well. But, so this is my flower pot garden. Now what I have to do this week is move these all, mow under them again. Darren's sister's coming to visit, which is awesome. And then Darren's parents are coming to visit the day after she leaves. So we're having a lot of people and it's been really lovely to have guests. And the weather's been pretty good. It's been showery off and on. But yeah, that's about it for my garden tour. Wasn't that exciting? And all my trees are still doing okay. My houseplants are still doing okay under the apple. They're very happy there. The ones next to the garage are still a little sad because they got too much sun. But that's it for gardening today.
Hey, it's Darren. I've been busy making a blueberry crumb cake today for breakfast. I like to bake, and I wasn't doing anything else today, so this is my contribution to the content. All right, let's see how this thing is.
All right, we're gonna do a taste test. What if I start vomiting?
Well, that won't make very good footage.
Ooh, good.
Yay! I'm just kidding. Well, that's the end of today's video. This week's video.
Yes. So, yes, that's the end. Yummy! Yeah, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Life on Pumpkin Ridge, everybody. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and you can see our awful ceiling. For
no. Well, they saw it in the first
video.
Because we know you all watched the first video.
We will see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.